The sky over Solterra shimmered gold. Even cracked pavement looked expensive. Carriages, sleek hovercars, and nervous assistants clogged the boulevard leading to Solaris Hall, the most glamorous headache ever built. Inside one of those cars, Ethan Hawthorne bounced his knees like a drum solo. Naomi sipped from a thermos. "You're vibrating again." "I'm not," Ethan said, moving even faster. Carter lounged beside him in a jacket that looked like rebellion made of velvet. "He's nervous because tonight he becomes Art Guy of the Year, or, what's the fancy title again? The Celestial Threadbearer?" Naomi snorted. "Pretty sure that's a laundry detergent." "Would you both please be normal for 5 minutes?" Ethan muttered. Carter pretended to think. "Normal? No, I can't recall that setting." Naomi handed Ethan a mint. "Breathe. You'll be fine. Worst case scenario, you faint into a sculpture. Instant performance art." Ethan groaned. "Why do I let you two come with me?" "Because we're your emotional support disaster," Carter said cheerfully. Meanwhile, at the other end of Solaris Hall, Elena Draven tries to survive her own circus. Her mother, Victoria, adjusted her diamond necklace for the 5th time. "Stand up straight. Remember, posture equals power." Sophia, fanning herself dramatically, whispered, "And diamonds equal neck pain." Victoria shot her a look. "Miss Varys, some of us prefer grace to sarcasm." Sophia smiled sweetly. "I prefer both." Robert Draven cleared his throat. "Darling, maybe let the girls breathe before the gala begins." Victoria ignored him. "Elena, you will greet Mrs. Grey the moment she arrives. She adores confidence." Elena exhaled. "Mother, I'm confident, not clairvoyant." "Then anticipate her aura," Victoria replied, dead serious. Sophia leaned over. "Your family terrifies me, in a fun way." The red-gold doors of Solaris Hall opened with a sigh of wealth. Light spilled across marble floors polished enough to see your future. Strings played softly from somewhere invisible. Guests sparkled in gowns, jewels, and the occasional existential dread. Naomi elbowed Ethan as they entered. "Smile. Pretend you belong." He tried. "Does shaking count as smiling?" "Almost," Carter said. "Just tilt your head. That's how mysterious geniuses look." "Or like they've lost an earring," Naomi added. Across the room, Elena entered with Sophia and her parents. The air seemed to notice her, light bending slightly around Grace. Sophia whispered commentary. "Okay, count the men already trying to accidentally stand near you. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that one tripped." "Stop," Elena said under her breath. "I can't. This is high art." From the mezzanine, Margaret Grey watched everything with calm satisfaction. The hall glittered, the guests buzzed, and below, 2 threads had just entered the same room. Roland Grey approached quietly. "You look pleased." "I am," Margaret said. "The weave hums again." He followed her gaze. "The painter and the anchor?" "Exactly." She smiled faintly. "They'll meet soon, without realizing they were meant to." Downstairs, Carter was already at the hors d'oeuvres table, making friends with shrimp canapes. Naomi whispered to Ethan, "Remember, don't spill, don't panic, and if anyone asks about your artistic process, just say you chase light." "I chase deadlines," he muttered. "Close enough," Naomi said. Elena was cornered by one of her mother's acquaintances who believed personal space was a myth. She managed polite smiles until Sophia swooped in like a glamorous rescue drone. "There you are. Mrs. Darien, Elena's needed for a paint emergency." "Paint emergency?" The woman blinked. "Yes," Sophia said solemnly. "It's very avant-garde." She dragged Elena away before the woman could ask for follow-ups. "Saved your life again," Sophia said. "You owe me a pastry." Elena laughed. "Add it to the list." The crowd shifted as a spotlight swept the hall. The announcer's voice rolled through the air. "Ladies and gentlemen, Welcome to the Celestial Circle Gala at Solaris Hall, where art and destiny intertwine. Applause erupted. Ethan's hands grew slightly damp. Naomi squeezed his arm. That's your cue, genius. He stepped forward to where the featured artists were being introduced, heart racing loud enough to sync with the orchestra. Across the hall, Elena turned toward the stage and froze. The young man under the light looked exactly like the portrait she'd seen weeks ago, the one Margaret had kept hidden until the last moment. Sophia nudged her. Is that him? Elena nodded, barely breathing. Wow, he looks unreasonably soulful. Does he practice that in the mirror? Elena didn't answer. Something inside her chest tugged, soft but insistent, like a thread being pulled. Up above, Margaret noticed the same spark. Roland murmured, "It begins." Margaret didn't blink. Let's see what destiny paints tonight. As the applause faded, Ethan's eyes lifted instinctively, searching. For a split second, across the golden sea of faces, he met Elena's gaze. The noise dimmed, the lights blurred, and for that heartbeat, the hall vanished around them. No sound, no crowd, just a quiet pulse between two souls who didn't yet know each other's names. Carter whispered from the side. Bro, stop staring. You're making it weird. The spell broke. Ethan blinked hard, cheeks warming. What? I wasn't... Naomi smirked. Sure, the universe winked at you, didn't it? Across the hall, Sophia fanned herself. Okay, that was something. Sparks, tension, slow-motion gaze. Do you two hear romantic violin music, or is that just me? Elena tore her gaze away. You're imagining things, Sophia grinned. You always say that right before life gets dramatic. Margaret raised her glass from the balcony, eyes gleaming. The first meeting, she murmured. The weave tightens. Applause rolled through the marble halls like a polite storm. Waiters glided past with trays of glittering glasses, and chandeliers shimmered so hard they looked smug about it. Carter was first to break the fragile awe surrounding Ethan. Oh, Ethan blinked, still half in a daze. There wasn't a rehearsal. Exactly, Carter said. Flawless performance. Naomi snatched a flute of sparkling juice from a passing tray. Drink something, genius. Your soul's about to feel overwhelmed. He obeyed, still distracted, his gaze drifting through the crowd. He didn't even know what he was looking for, just that something inside him was searching. Naomi leaned closer. You keep scanning the room like your ex might show up. Then you're inventing one. Be careful, you'll invite drama. Too late, Carter muttered. Drama's making eye contact. He nodded discreetly toward the far end of the gallery, where Elena stood beside Sophia, laughing softly. The golden light hit her hair perfectly, and for a moment, Ethan forgot how to breathe normally. Whoa, Naomi said, catching his expression. You've spotted a muse. I've spotted a problem, Carter corrected. She's glowing. Nobody glows unless they complicate your life artistically. Ethan tore his eyes away. You're both impossible. True, Naomi said, but also right. Across the room, Sophia was narrating everything like a live drama. Okay, mystery painter sighted, confirmed brooding energy, one slightly wrinkled collar. Love that. Very tortured soul chic. Elena tried to glare, but failed. Please lower your voice. I can't. I'm narratively invested. You don't even know him. Neither do you. Yet. The night is young. Elena rolled her eyes, sipping her champagne. You sound like my mother after her third cocktail. I sound like Destiny's spokesperson. Sophia tilted her head. He's staring again, by the way. Elena froze, then pretended to examine a sculpture that resembled an existential pretzel. No, he's not. He is. Oh, this is delicious. Two people pretending they're not aware of each other. Classic slow burn energy. Sophia, Elena hissed. Stop narrating my potential embarrassment. Fine, I'll just watch quietly, like a dramatic observer. The crowd began to shift as Margaret Gray took the stage, graceful as ever, every inch the queen of elegance. "Ladies and gentlemen," she said, her voice carrying effortlessly, "tonight we celebrate creation, not only as expression but as connection." The lights dimmed to a warm gold. Behind her, a massive canvas was unveiled, glowing softly beneath the chandeliers. The golden thread in it seemed alive, pulsing faintly, almost breathing. Ethan's chest tightened slightly. It was his. "This piece," Margaret continued, "reminds us that art is not born from isolation, but from resonance, each stroke a conversation with the unseen." A ripple of murmurs passed through the crowd. Sophia whispered to Elena, "Translation, fancy people clap now." Margaret turned slightly, her gaze sweeping across the room until it rested, intentionally, on Ethan. "Our featured artist this evening, Mr. Ethan Hawthorne of Varelia." Applause again. Ethan stepped forward, hands a bit damp, and somehow remembered to bow. Sophia gasped softly. "Varelia? Isn't that where your mom's friend—" "Don't say it," Elena warned. "Got the mysterious letter last spring?" Elena sighed. "You're impossible." Sophia grinned. "I'm consistent." As the crowd admired the painting, Ethan stood beside Margaret, trying to ignore the warmth rising in his neck. She leaned in just enough for only him to hear. "Breathe, Mr. Hawthorne. You've already done what few ever do. You've made them feel—" He nodded mutely. "Tell me," she said softly, "when you painted this, did you sense anything unusual?" He hesitated. "Sometimes it felt like the paint was guiding me, like it knew where to go." Her eyes gleamed with quiet understanding. "Good. That means the thread recognized you." Ethan frowned slightly. "The thread? Just a figure of speech," she said smoothly. "Enjoy the night, Mr. Hawthorne." Before he could question further, she drifted away into the crowd. Naomi immediately swooped in. "What did the mysterious billionaire art queen say?" "That my paint is self-aware," Ethan muttered. "Cool," Carter said. "So when do we start admiring it?" Elena moved closer to the painting, drawn by the way it shimmered. The crowd thinned enough for her to stand only a few feet away from Ethan. He turned at the same moment she did. "Oh, hi," he said, voice cracking slightly. She smiled politely. "Your work is beautiful." "Thanks," he said, then panicked. You're beautiful. Your words are, I should stop talking." Sophia snorted audibly behind her. Elena bit her lip to keep from laughing. "You're nervous. That's a good sign." "For who?" "For the art," he chuckled, rubbing the back of his neck. "You sound like Margaret." "She has that effect on people." Carter nudged Naomi from across the room. "Look, they're awkward flirting. Should we intervene?" Naomi whispered. "No, let them suffer. It's romantic." As the orchestra swelled, the chandeliers flickered once, just enough to make everyone glance up. The golden thread in Ethan's painting glowed brighter for a split second, casting faint light across their faces. Elena paused slightly. She felt it again, that pulse deep in her chest, like something invisible humming in sync with the art. Ethan noticed too. "Did you see that?" She nodded slowly. "It almost looked alive." He half smiled. "Maybe it is." They both stared a moment longer until the glow faded. Sophia whispered behind them, "If that painting starts talking, I'm billing someone." Up on the balcony, Margaret exchanged a knowing glance with Roland. "It's responding faster than expected," he murmured. "They're attuned," she replied. "The weave is waking." Roland studied her face. "You're sure they can handle it?" She smiled faintly. "No, that's what makes it beautiful." Down below, Naomi clinked her glass against Carter's. To surviving one night surrounded by rich people. Carter raised his glass. And to our boy not passing out mid-art exhibit. Naomi grinned. Small victories. Across the hall, Ethan and Elena stood side by side, both pretending to study the art, but really trying to understand what just passed between them. He finally said, quiet but honest, "It's strange. It feels like I've known you forever." She turned to meet his eyes, chest fluttering slightly. "That's funny," she whispered. "I was just thinking the same thing." The music swelled again. Somewhere in the background, Sophia whispered to herself, "Oh, this is going to end dramatically and I can't wait." Margaret lifted her glass from the shadows above, a faint smile on her lips. "The gala of gold," she murmured, "and the weaving begins."